before I get started, I'd love to get some understanding of what you guys are here to gain, what kind of made you want to come, so that I can make sure that I do my best to make this as effective as possible. So if a few of you can just share what, and don't be shy, why you chose to come tonight. Anybody? Yeah?
Yeah. Hello, my name is Shahin Hosseini.
Hi.
I'm a media producer and inventor. Well, since recently I had a patented project in IT and a kind of new media production method. And I saw that in the definition of this workshop, you've been involved with actually a startup environment for the other companies, and
yes.
You train them. So it was interesting for me to come and meet you and see what's going on with the workshop.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
it. That's my
Great.
story.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Masoud.
Hi.
I was in Iran as an entrepreneur, and I was curious how can be here as entrepreneur. Although it's too late, but
It's never too late.
I always think about it.
It's never too late.
I'm really glad to be in your class.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you're here. Cool. Anyone else?
Yeah, me?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I followed you.
He's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I followed you from a long time ago. She's the godmother of Silicon Beach in a startup world. I'm in a startup world. I know how valuable she is. She's a really valuable resource for us. Yeah, I had an investor pitching tonight in somewhere else. I canceled the meeting to come and see her. And
So it better be good.
Yeah. And I'm here, yeah, to learn from your experiences here.
Awesome.
The startup scene of LA. And also, if it is possible, to pitch the idea to you and get your feedback from it.
Sure, no problem. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Anyone else, or shall we continue? Yeah.
My name is Jubin, and I did work for myself for pretty much all my life, and I'm switching my work. That's why I'm here to learn how to switch, because it's very hard to switch from one business to another business, especially now with technology.
Sure.
Anything you do is completely different than what I did in last 30 years.
Awesome. I love that. That's great. My view is that all that matters is your mind and how you think about everything. Everything else becomes irrelevant. So, very cool. Thank you for sharing. All right, guys. So then here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to give you a brief overview as to who I am, and then I'm going to share my story. And then following my story, I'm going to go over what I call the 5 common traits of a successful entrepreneur, although this can apply to you even if you're not an entrepreneur. It's kind of how to be a happy human more than anything, and a successful person, and a happy, fulfilled person, all right? So, hi, I'm Pam. They call me the godmother of Silicon Beach. I will explain what that means in a minute. I'm an expert speaker with the U.S. State Department in a program proven to ward off terrorism by helping empower and inspire the women and the youth in the Middle East. So I've gone to Kuwait and I've gone to Bahrain, both of them very awesome experiences. I'm a 3-time founder, so I'm currently on my 3rd company. I'm on the innovation board for Forward.us, which is Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg's immigration reform initiative. And I'm a proud single mom of twin boys. They're almost 6 years old. They're amazing. They are my everything in life. I've worked with over 4,000 entrepreneurs and over 700 startups, so I know a thing or two about this stuff. I like to say that my vision is to ultimately transform the economy to thrive off of we as opposed to me. So my current company is called CoItself, the Human Accelerator. We build badasses. What we have is a really unique and powerful and innovative method of coaching that incorporates transformational coaching, mindset coaching, business coaching, and intuitive coaching. We have a 3-month program to help people transform themselves, their business, whatever they might be dealing with at the time. And the results have been amazing. It's very fulfilling work. There's nothing else in this world that I'm supposed to be doing. I really, really enjoy it, and it's really cool to see that people are really getting a lot out of it. Cool. So now, we're going to talk about my story. So, I never knew I would be an entrepreneur. I never thought I could be. I had a very negative inner dialogue. So, you know the conversation you have with yourself in your mind? Mine was really bad. It was not a happy conversation. I was always very hard on myself, very negative towards myself. It's not good enough, I'm not smart enough, how can I ever make this happen? No one's gonna listen to me, I'm not creative enough, whatever. Any version of that's out there was what my mind was doing. It's actually proven that we speak to ourselves worse than we do our greatest enemies, when in fact it would serve us best if we speak to ourselves as our own best friends. So growing up, I was severely bullied. I was the kid in school that always ate my lunch in the bathroom by myself. I had just a very shitty, sorry, I say bad words sometimes. I had a negative experience with school. And yeah, that wasn't fun. So I definitely did not believe in myself. I didn't think that I could ever have my own company, let alone 3 of them. I never thought any of that stuff. So, and I come from a family of doctors, just like every other Persian, right? Everyone. My brother is now a doctor. My parents are both doctors. Everybody is a doctor. So I was the oddball that didn't want to go down that route. So I go to college and I majored in business actually, because I was kind of interested in it. I still had no idea what I was going to do. And hi, welcome. Have a seat. And once I graduated college, I got pretty lucky and I ended up getting a pretty good job at a medical company, funny enough, family of doctors, medical company. I was marketing director of a medical diagnostics corporation. And I was 22, just out of college. And I walk into this place and I see that it's a very negative environment. Now, I'm a very happy person. I don't like being in negative environments. I'm somebody that is always happy and smiling, and I can't deal with negativity. So as soon as I walked in on that, I knew that either my soul was going to die or I had to do something about it. So I walked up to the CEO of the company and I told him, you know, I don't think people that work here understand why they're working here. Everyone is robotic, everyone is negative, everyone is just existing. Nobody seems to have, you know, a human component to them. So he ended up actually agreeing with me. And some people ask me, how did you have the courage to talk to this guy, this like 50-year-old, you know, accomplished CEO, doctor, whatever? And my answer is I had nothing to lose. I knew that I could not continue working there in that kind of an environment, so I chose to speak up. And so he ended up holding a meeting with the 60 employees that were there at the time. And he asked, do you guys know why you're here? And of course, the answers were to pay my rent, to hit quota, to sell, blah, 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 whatever. Nobody actually said the answer that he was looking for, which was, we're here to save people's lives. We are in the business of patient care. Nobody got that. So that's when I helped them incorporate a component to their entire marketing philosophy and the entire company. We brought a human element into it. We incorporated the why. You guys are here for patient care. You're here to save people's lives. This isn't just a whatever job. Don't take it so lightly. And that ended up completely transforming the company. So over the 4 years that I was there, we went from 3 locations to 9. Revenues increased 60%. And they ended up getting acquired. They sold the company 2 years after I left. So it's interesting how bringing a human component into business can really change things. And how important it is to understand why you are doing something. Instead of just showing up to work every day, you have something inside you that's passion. There's a passion there. I'm here to help people save people's lives. It makes a difference. So I ended up leaving this company because I had an idea to start a company. I also realized that I really don't like having people tell me what to do. So I didn't want to have a boss anymore. So I decided to start my own company. The idea was a great idea, but the company was a huge failure. So it was in 2008 when, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a really bad economy here.
Yeah.
The Great Recession. Bad time to start a company, okay? Especially one in the medical space, which is what I did. So it was a medical technology startup. And it was a document delivery portal for physicians and service providers to communicate through the cloud in a HIPAA-compliant fashion. Complicated, but a great idea, but executed horribly and at the wrong time, right? So this is before there were EMRs. If you guys know what that is, like electronic medical records. Now when you go to the doctor, everything is like electronic. Back then it was still all paper. So that's kind of where the idea came from. Like, let's take this to the cloud. So we spent 2 years on this company, $200,000 of our own money, and we ended up with 3 customers. It's a really, really bad failure. Huge. Great lessons, but a really, really hard failure to swallow.
You saved 3 lives.
Supposedly.
That's very good.
That's one way to think of it. I like that. So why did we fail? Well, number one, basically we did everything you're not supposed to do. We were focused on the small features of what the software should be, as opposed to testing the general idea, which we call the MVP. You know that. The minimum viable product. You're supposed to, if you want to make a company work, you want to test the core of the idea first before moving forward with this whole big, elaborate thing. We didn't do that. We didn't know. I didn't even know what an investor was. I knew nothing. I went in blind. Right? So that was one thing. We focused too much on features. We outsourced it to India. Huge mistake. If you guys are ever building software, please don't do that. It's a bad idea. There's a huge language barrier, and it doesn't work. And most of all, I believe one of the biggest reasons for our failure was that we were isolated. It was just me and my co-founder. We had no community around us. And human beings are community beings. We thrive off of people's energy. When we single ourselves out and put ourselves in a box, it doesn't work. You lose a lot of passion. You lose just energy, and it doesn't work. So this company failed hard. And obviously you get really upset when something that you spent so much time and energy on fails, right? So I was finishing up my MBA, and I was looking for a job at this time. And nothing was out there. Again, this is during the recession. It was like, secretarial work for $20,000 a year. I'm like, I'm getting my MBA, like that doesn't work with me. So I like to say that during times of scarcity spawns creativity. So I had an idea. Based on the previous failure and the premise that we failed because of the lack of community, what would it look like if we built an entrepreneurial community? A place for people like us, an AA for entrepreneurs because we're a little different. A place where there's mentors, advisors, resources, just a different energy of people around you that are doing the same thing, because building a company is really hard. It's not easy. So when you're around people that are doing that as well, it makes it less hard, right? It makes it feel like okay, this is normal. It's supposed to be this hard. You're supposed to fail this much. It's supposed to be a roller coaster, right? So that's where the idea of the second company called CoLoft came from. CoLoft was the first co-working space in Los Angeles. If you guys are or aren't familiar with co-working, there's a big company now that is well known for it called WeWork. Basically, it's a space. Imagine this space with a bunch of tables and chairs. It becomes your office, but it's a community of people. So we built the first co-working space in Los Angeles back in the end of 2009, early 2010, geared towards technology startups. So it was really focused on technology companies. This is before there was a technology scene at all in Los Angeles. There was nothing happening here. There was a Google sales office, Yahoo, and like 2 startups. That's it. So we built this space. We learned the hard way how to build it lean. Okay. So we tested the idea before actually opening and spending money on the space. We put up a website saying, CoLoft coming in March of 2010, when it wasn't. We didn't have a space yet, we had nothing. We just put this up there because we wanted to test if this idea will work or not. We put the idea up. Again, there was no technology scene. I had no connections to anybody in the entrepreneurial space, no one. So what I did was I sent an email to everyone that I knew, and their mothers and their grandmothers. And I told them, check this out. Please share it with as many people as you can. Let us know what you think. And we ended up actually getting 250 email addresses of people who were interested in this concept. So what we did with that was we surveyed them. We surveyed them and we asked them questions, very lean startup style, that is conducive to you being able to build this business in an effective manner. So I asked them, what would you guys want in a workspace? What's most important to you? The number 1 answer was natural light. The number 2 answer was good chairs. So we knew to spend our money on good chairs and cheap tables. It was helpful. It was effective that way, right? We knew how to allocate our money. And we asked them a very important question. If this space was open right now, would you pay X amount for it? 28% of the people said yes. That's when we knew we had something. So at that moment, we went and we found a great space at a very, very low rate, which was honestly the universe. I don't know how that happened. It was under $2 a square foot in prime Santa Monica. That just does not happen. And we worked on it and opened up the space, and in 4 months we broke even. Over the 4 years that I was there, first of all, we became a very successful company, a very profitable company, and it basically spawned the LA tech ecosystem as we know it. So we had over 1,800 alumni come through, including Uber, Instacart, ZipRecruiter, the early Tinder team. All these guys came out of our space. That's why they call me the godmother of Silicon Beach, because I helped start this whole movement known as Silicon Beach. I was actually in the town hall meeting with the mayor when they decided to call it Silicon Beach, Before that, it was just Santa Monica and Los Angeles. So that was awesome. It was a very fun time. I really, really, really loved that company. In many ways, it felt like my first child. This is before I had children, so I can say that. And throughout this story, my co-founder was my ex-husband. So we got to a point where things weren't working anymore. And when I filed for divorce, he fired me from my own company. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, that happened. And I found myself in a place that I had to start all over, right? First of all, it was my responsibility not to have my name on my own company. I trusted him, but I've learned in business you don't trust anybody. You gotta put your name on everything, no matter what. Don't trust anyone, your brother, your whatever. Everything has to be in writing. I don't know why, money makes people weird. So you just have to protect yourself, right? But it was a very difficult time for me because literally overnight, I went from being that guy's wife for 12 years and co-loft cam to neither. I had none of those anymore. So I found myself in an identity crisis. Everything I associated myself as, I no longer was, so who am I now? And I went into a depression. My kids were about 1.5 at this time. And it was not fun. But it ended up becoming the best thing that ever happened to me, because it ended up leading to where I am now. And it helped me find a level of awareness and love for myself that I had never had. And now that I have that, nobody and nothing outside of me can take that away. Before, I was identifying way too much of who I am with what is out here. With my company, with my success, with my ex-husband, whatever. What about what's in here? That's what matters most. So that experience put me on what I like to call my spiritual awakening. And I did a lot of work on myself during this time. My divorce took 2 years. Once that was over, I went overdrive into personal development, self-development, working on me. Really understanding at the core, who is Cam? What am I here for? What is it that I need to learn about myself in order to help take myself to the next level, in order to really become who I am meant to become in this life? I am not going to allow one negative experience to define me forever. And I do not want to be angry, and I don't want to carry that weight with me. It's negative energy. It doesn't do good for anybody or anything. So during this time, I met the woman who is now my business partner. And she is nothing short of an angel. She's an intuitive coach, and she has worked with over 30,000 people. Her clients include senators and billionaires and huge corporations like Louis Vuitton. And she saw something in me at that time that I didn't yet see for myself. And she told me that she really believes in me and that there is something greater that I'm here for. I just have to get out of my own way. So her and I, for a period of 9 months, went intensive on the work together, in addition to me going overdrive on the personal development side of things. So I read a lot of books, attended a lot of seminars, got my own coach, did all of that stuff. And in a 9-month period, I literally went from being depressed in my bed to 9 months later, I'm in Kuwait, working with the State Department and inspiring a nation, working with the U.S. ambassador over there. It was nothing short of an absolute miracle, like transformational miracle. I was a zombie, you guys, legit. I was not in a good place. And 9 months later, I'm like helping a nation of people. It was like, what just happened here? And I realized that what changed was how I was thinking. It was my mind. It was me getting out of my own way. It was me creating a new story that would serve me, as opposed to the old victim story that most people walk around with in this life. This happened to me, this happened, and now I'm this, and it's because of that, and I blame blah, blah, blah. Get rid of that. You can create a new story that will help you. The new story is, yeah, that happened. It was shitty. And now I'm gonna do something else. Because if you live in the past, you're screwed. It's that simple. Good luck to you. Everyone goes through problems. Everyone goes through hardships. Everyone goes through things in life that is testing you. And that's hard to come back from. But it doesn't happen to you unless you are strong enough for it to happen to you. So you gotta stand up, rise up, and make a difference. So at that time in Kuwait is when I had the idea for the company that I have now. When I saw what I am capable of, 9 months ago in my bed, 9 months later, like dealing with politicians, and like I'm the only woman in this in this room with the U.S. ambassador and like 8 other major decision makers in Kuwait. I'm the one woman at the table, and I'm the one calling the shots. 9 months earlier, that would not have happened, okay? I remember sitting there going, this is really badass. This is awesome. I can't believe that I'm doing this. And it's all because I believed in myself. I really, really got to a point where I realized I'm awesome and no one is going to mess with that. You believe in yourself in an unreasonable way and you are capable of anything. So that's when I had the idea for CoItself. We call it a human accelerator. To accelerate you to be able to get to a place in a short amount of time to not only be a fulfilled human, but a successful human. What you do in this world is going to be amplified when the inside is taken care of. You take care of you and you build you, anything you do will become successful as a natural result. This is the way it works. Outside reality is a reflection of your inner reality. So if you see that everything in life is negative and a lot of crap keeps happening, take a look inside. There's a reason. If you see that things are awesome and wonderful, good, you're doing great. It's all a reflection of what is going on inside. So now we're 2 years into the company. It's going great. Again, I've never been happier in my life, ever. I love what I'm doing. I love the fact that I'm helping people understand their power. I love that I'm helping people really get that they are the ones in charge of their own lives, that blaming others or being a victim of the circumstance isn't going to get you anywhere. And I'm planning on building an empire. We'll see. So, on that note,
How did you get familiar with this lady?
oh, honestly, it was like the universe. I got her information from a family friend.
By chance?
Yeah. Like, random. And the first conversation I had with her changed everything. It was awesome. So, just quickly, I'm going to go through what I call the 5 fundamental traits of what it takes to be successful, specifically a successful entrepreneur. A powerful mind is it, really. It's all in here. So these are the 5 traits. Self-awareness, passion, persistence, resilience, and detachment. And I'll quickly go over each one. Self-awareness, if you notice the theme in my story, once I understood who I truly am, everything changed for me. Understanding who you are at a level of unwavering self-awareness. Who am I? What am I here to do? Just really deep, who am I? At a core level, not at an ego level, not at a material level. It's not about where you live. It's not about